Ghetto Queen Democrat Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett has been on a generational run, saying the most absurd, disrespectful, condescending, out-of-touch things to the American people. Jasmine embodies everything that is wrong and off-putting about the Democrat Party. But just this week, she hit a new all-time low as she made two different statements that reveal just how much hate she has in her heart. As always, like the video and subscribe to the channel. It helps me out a ton, and it also makes sure that my videos can reach all of my subscribers. But let's start with Jasmine responding to Donald Trump's proposed Doge dividends of $5,000 and just spitting in the face of the American people from her ivory tower. Watch.
Now, President Trump says he likes the idea of giving some of the savings from Doge back to Americans as kind of a dividend. Would you support that?
Listen, he's just telling a lie. He's not the one that had anything to do with the $1,200 refunds that people had during the midst of COVID. That was done by a Democratic House and Democratic Senate. Right now, what they're going to do is say, hey, we want to give you a refund, but Congress won't let us because they already know that there's just no money for that. The only reason that those refunds came before was because we were living in different times. This was a time in which hopefully we won't ever go through again. We had a once in a lifetime pandemic. The bad part is that I don't know if it's once in a lifetime because we know that Ebola, unfortunately, was detected right here in New York here recently. And if we continue down this road of getting rid of scientists or deciding that we don't want to rely on experts as it relates to what they're telling us to do, or we don't want to deal with vaccines and medicine in this country, then we may be facing not only our next pandemic, but our next 2, 3, or 4 pandemics because of their incompetence. So no, we are not in the business of giving out money. And honestly, I don't know what $5,000 will do for you.
We aren't in the business of giving out money. Since when? What is all the outrage about USAID closing about? What are the drag shows in Colombia then? What are the condoms going to Africa then? What are the DEI initiatives in Serbia then? And I bet all these illegal immigrants would beg to differ, as they cost the taxpayer $100,000 each and get rewarded with free everything for breaking into our country. And let's not forget about Kamala Harris, who, if I'm not mistaken, was offering $25,000 to anybody who wanted to buy a home, and then made a desperate attempt at the end of her race to connect with black people by offering them free grants. Like I said, Jasmine embodies the Democrats perfectly because her unapologetic, blatant lying is exactly why everybody lost trust with Democrats and the mainstream media over the last 4 years, and why all their current Trump and Elon derangement outrage is just falling on deaf ears. And to her statement about $5,000 wouldn't help anybody, what an absolute slap in the face to all of the hardworking Americans who are struggling because of Biden's economy. They want to constantly blame Trump for egg prices increasing, even though Biden shot and killed 100 million chickens. But they at least acknowledge that things are expensive, and they'll talk about how 60% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck, but then want to say $5,000 wouldn't do anything for the average family. It exposes how elitist and out of touch they are, and explains perfectly why they can't connect with any average working American. $5,000 would put most American families in a position that they have a significant cushion